What's up, Gloucester Township? I'm Joe Allen here with Keith Gibbons.
How's it going?
This is Inside Township Talk.
Yeah.
We took out the GT part because we're doing a couple townships in the area here.
Yeah.
There's
Expanding a little bit.
some hilarity really that kind of encompasses this whole area.
Yeah.
And we previous episodes we did some Pine Hill chat.
Yeah, I think
Bringing in some Washington Township talk. They call theirs real Washington Township talk.
Yeah.
So we'll probably get into the fake Washington Township talk sooner or later
At some point.
and do some of those. But man.
Go over what happens in social media in these surrounding towns.
We've survived an earthquake. We've survived a full eclipse.
We will rebuild.
We've gotten pretty far here. So, any holidays? I kind of think of any holidays we've just recently come across. I don't know,
Easter.
man. Like,
Last weekend was Easter.
that's right, it was. I forgot it was Easter.
Oh wow. For heathens. I was out of town.
I forgot. I normally it's one of those things where I just go to my wife's family's house, my family's house, and I get so
Did nothing this time.
I with projects around the house, and I got working, and I worked the entire weekend doing projects in the house, and I was painting and stuff like that, and then at some point like midday Sunday, I'm like, oh my god, it was Easter. And I called my mom. I wish her happy Easter. And she's like, oh, how's it down in Maryland? That's where my wife's family lives. And I was like, Dom, I'm home. She goes, oh, I didn't know you were going to be home. I would have invited you over. And I went, I forgot it was. I just, man, it's just, one of those, it's so busy, man. There's so much stuff to do. Trying to get stuff around the house all set up before it gets nice outside. It's not been nice outside, that's for sure. It's been just rain nonstop. So, yeah, cold, rainy. Yeah. So it's like the perfect time to finish anything you got going on inside the house. Because once it gets nice,
gotta do it outside stuff.
Mess, man. The outside of this house is a mess. There's weeds. There's my crappy attempt at like trying to be the guy with a really nice yard and the really nice grass. I'm on my like 6th year probably of
attempting it,
of trying to get the good lawn. Last year I just was like, screw it, I'm done. I'm gonna drive a truck in here, called dump truck, and just had them dump soil over the entire yard. And I raked soil over the entire yard, and I seeded it, and it looked awful last year. It doesn't look great right now, but
hopefully it comes back for you.
We're on that.
I'll tell you where it was horrible grass today as I was going down 42 towards Camden and Philly, where what's it called, Sam's Club, Walmart, that shopping center there. The whole side of that hill is just tire marks going up. And I'm like, what the heck happened? And I was like, oh, the guy that was attempting suicide down there to build the traffic, everybody was trying to get off the road. And there was just ruts and like there's holes in the ground because people was like tired. I guess they couldn't get traction, so they're stuck in there. I could just see the aftermath of that big mess that happened on 42 down there. I heard so many people complaining about, oh, it took me 2 hours to get somewhere.
Oh man,
so that was something that happened around this whole town recently. It was a shame, guys basically screaming for help.
I missed that too.
You're missing everything.
I'm so busy. I'm so busy.
I'm so busy with my busy life over here.
I got my head in there. You know, I got my head in stuff, and it's just, you know, I completely missed it. Yeah. But it was, I think we were out at Lowe's. My wife is like, that guy's still on the bridge.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what guy? What bridge?
It was like hours.
Yeah, man, that's I don't, you know, I saw a bunch of posts on there. I saw some people took some pictures, and I was like, it's not the time, man. That person's going through something, man, right now. That some people understand, a lot of people don't understand. So
everybody's worried about themselves. They're the main characters, you know. Well, there's somebody else that has a life-threatening, you know, issue, problem. They don't care. It's just not, you're stopping me from doing what I want to do, or, you know.
I'd be the guy, you know. I'd be the guy in the traffic that's pissed about whatever's happening, and then, you know, would probably go home and see that and be like, all right, man, yeah. But yeah,
they do. They pulled up the tractor trailers underneath to like stop it from being a viable option, you know, for him. I saw a lot of people come surprised by that, but it wasn't the first time that I've seen that happen, so I wasn't exactly surprised by it. But those truck drivers were there for hours and hours just waiting, you know, to see what came about of it. But the guy supposedly everything left off safe, so that's a good note. We had some other fights recently in
your head's under RT.
What's that?
Your head's under RT.
Oh, I'm sorry. All right. Anyway,
I just realized that. Some new stuff going on. The the earthquake got rid of the bricks for us.
Yeah, the whole wall.
That wasn't you know, look, I'm not a mason.
We will rebuild.
So we will rebuild. So we got a plain white wall and some weird colors going on behind us here. So so speaking of brawls,
Speaking of brawls.
Yeah, Highland High School. You represent Highland High School with Highland Regional High School brawl. So two parents and two minors basically they got into it. They got into it here. The police showed up. A potted plant was thrown at a police officer, and some folks are facing aggravated assault on a law enforcement officer, 4th degree, aggravated assault, 3rd degree, and simple assault, disorderly persons offense. That's a pretty big deal.
Yeah. I wonder what it was all about. I don't know anything more about the story, but amazing people will.
I don't know, man.
Fists for nothing. I was just telling you that story about the 16-year-old kid that punched that 40-year-old guy and knocked him, just cocked him and ended up killing the guy right on the side of the street.
I just saw that. Well, that's like a big thing now. Just punching around. I don't know if that was one of the things, but that's like a big thing that's been in the news lately with New York is people just punching,
randomly
running people, punching people.
Yeah.
So actually, both people were charged with aggravated assault on a law enforcement officer. I guess maybe.
Oh, really?
They both threw plants.
Oh my God! Why are you throwing at the cop? What did the cop do?
And then disorderlies also. So that's you ever get a disorderly?
No,
I did.
I did.
I did. Got dismissed. I was actually breaking up a fight. I was breaking up a fight as somebody got jumped, and the police were there, and I wound up going to trial for it. And the guy's like, "Look, I'm really sorry that you're even here. You got involved in this." I'm like, "Look, I was just trying to stop somebody from getting beat up. That's all it was." But
right,
yeah. But for a moment there, I was like, feels like, yeah, it didn't feel good. so that happened. I mean, it's Highland, right? So back in my day, I think Highland was all right back in my day. Vokey was that's where you went to fight. I feel like we fought all the time at Vokey.
Okay.
Hey, I'm a Vokey. I'm a Vokey person. So I guess in a little brighter news.
Right down the street from Highland, we have a approval of ShopRite. Yeah.
ShopRite, the old Kmart. I'm excited just to see the old Kmart go and turn it into something.
Yeah.
Just turn it into it's been. Look, that Kmart was never. That was never a good Kmart to begin with.
Yeah.
Did you ever go to the Kmart? It was Kmart.
I did, maybe like 6 times, and yeah. I never heard.
Nah, so I grew up like basically in Berlin Kmart. My mom got a job there when I was really, really young.
Right.
And
I remember you telling that, yeah.
Yeah, that was always our store. And I'll tell you what, Berlin Kmart, man, they for the little bit of support they had from the corporation, they kept Berlin Kmart a nice store. And Blackwood was kind of just like Blackwood was just a store you went into and go, I bet Kmart's gonna go out of business soon.
They were the first sign of it. Yeah.
Like I think the downfall started in Blackwood.
Yeah.
Because it was just like
I wouldn't doubt it. From what I recall being in that store, I
but yeah, ShopRite ShopRite's approved over there, and from what I gather, the old ShopRite, I guess, is gonna be
I'm sure they're going to use it as a corporate something or other. They have that building next to theirs, is I think offices and stuff over there. So
I thought they were going to do some kind of like warehousing for ShopRite in that store. So
yeah, it's not going to be vacant, but it's not going to be open to the public kind of thing, is what I gathered. There's still going to be,
which is kind of a shame because it's right there in the center of a big busy area. Yeah. So this would be great for a storefront there, but it's never been a great ShopRite. Always freaked me out because they had carpet in the ShopRite. I was always
what? Just when you walk in, that's it.
Yeah, but that was weird. It was just weird.
Dry your feet off, so you don't have to go slipping and falling in the store.
I guess I feel like the squeaky feet kind of person. You get the wet feet, and squeak. Yeah, but I don't know. I always had a weird feeling that ShopRite, like this shouldn't be a grocery store. But it always.
Well, I'll tell you what. Now, if that Kmart becomes the ShopRite, and that original ShopRite that's there now becomes something else. I was driving down Blackwood Clementon Road a few days ago, and I said to myself, I said, you know what? I'm guilty of always saying that all these empty stop, and somebody online just recently said, something like, oh yeah, what about all the empty stores on Blackwood Clementon Road? And if you recall back to our the podcast that we had, Mark from 42 Freeway, Mark Matthews, and he said, they've got a lot going on there. People are always down that. And as I saw that online, I was driving down the street, and his comment came back to me, and I'm like, you know what? There really are not any vacant stores now, because Giant Fitness, or not Giant, I don't know, was it Giant? Yeah, Giant Fitness and Jersey Girl or whatever, like that whole section has been taken out. The only thing that's not really there anymore is that the Chinese buffet.
That's the old Super Fresh, I think, from way back in the day.
I don't know. But either way, I was just kind of shocked when I actually looked from a perspective of like, where are the empty shops? Because the Friendlies is now the
dispensary.
Dispensary. Behind that is the Giant Fitness. On the next, but basically there's a lot of stores that are actually down on Blackwood Clementon Road. And just in my head, from so many years of being vacant, I just assume that they're all vacant, but they really aren't anymore. I don't know, just something I noticed the other day.
And it's not a road. It's not a road that I ever travel on anymore. There's always, I cross it a ton, but I never go down it anymore. There's just never a need to go down it anymore. I guess it's just in the location that I live in compared to where I used to live, where I used to go down all the time. But I'm always surprised when I go down there because there's stuff that's there now that I didn't realize was there.
Yeah.
And that's always been, that was always for me when we always talked about like where in Gloucester Township we would really need to like do like tax abatements and stuff like that and incentivize people for going. It was one of the biggest places I always thought.
Yeah, well, it has, I guess, over the years, just not as I don't know, loud and proud as some other openings of things, but there are things that actually have opened up over there.
A lot of chains. Yeah, it's a lot of chain stuff there.
Yeah, but
I mean, they serve the purpose. I mean,
it's not vacant. That's all.
You go to Wendy's. Hey, if you're hungry, you go to Wendy's.
Yeah, but it's still what are the fast food row over there? It's like every fast food joint you could think of is on.
It is, yeah. It is. And then, so yeah, glad to see that coming in. I didn't catch when that was. I don't know that they actually have a date on yet when that's.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I
thought it was old news, honestly, but it was just recently said again, like as it just happened. So It must have just happened.
Yeah, it says it's approved. They don't have a date on it yet, when it's actually going to happen. So we'll keep an eye on that and find out when it's going to happen.
Right.
I'm sure we'll hear from Mark. Like Mark's the guy.
Yeah, he's on top of everything.
We have to do. I feel like we should probably look at quarterly
update
podcasts with Mark.
Yeah, we should.
I'd love to have Mark on here. He's just listen to that guy. He knows everything in the area.
Yeah, well, that's now his career. He's made a career of blog posts that he used to put up.
Yeah, jealous. This is just a hobby.
Yeah, I never want to get to that point.
No, you wouldn't want to blog for a living?
No,
like Mark does. Oh, it sounds fantastic.
I don't want to do anything for a living. I want to do whatever I want to do.
Yeah. Guy texted me today. He's like, "I'm gonna go to Donkey's for lunch," and I'm like, "I'm working."
Well, I'm not. We're going.
That's good. I guess when you own a few businesses, you can kind of just do that. Where I'm handcuffed to a desk all day. Oh, the next one. So on to Facebook now. This was a good one here. I just
where was this one? What town page?
Gloucester Township Talk.
Okay.
It's the big Gloucester Township Talk. This message is for Bill.
Bill from Gloucester
From
Township.
Blackwood. I recycled your own phone number ending in 77. Kindly update your political affiliations with your new number, specifically since your political views don't resonate with mine. Also, CVS on College Drive keeps reminding you about your shingles vaccine. So, Bill, if you're not on Facebook, but you do follow us, kindly update your phone number and maybe let them know that you.
If you got a new number ended, your old one ended in 77.
Bill, yeah, I don't know. I did ask because I was curious whether or not. So these two people, they don't align politically, Bill and Arliss. So they don't align politically. So I was like, well, we do need some people Republican side over at the committee. I could send some over to the Republican committee.
There you go.
Right? They've got a very little showing every year. So I was like, hey, what's Bill's political affiliation by any chance? But it turns out Bill is not the Republican in the bunch. It appears that this person is or is not a. Apparently, Bill is a Democrat. This person is not. So I was trying to.
That's a funny thing. That you buy away your shingles vaccine.
Trying to recruit the wrong person, I guess, for that one. But I don't get any. You ever done that? You ever gotten a new phone number and you get somebody old?
I haven't changed my phone number in a long time, but I did hear of somebody else having that problem. They got a new number and it was just a nightmare because whoever had it before was signed up for a million different things and it, kept
changing numbers. Kind of a weird thing, right? I mean, it's just at some point now. I mean, if you move, do you even change your number if you move now?
No, because you can actually port a number to like a different company, a different carrier. Like,
yeah,
you can still have like a phone number from say you lived in Morristown and then you moved to. You can just still have the same number,
Like my wife hasn't lived in Maryland in. I don't even know her history. Actually, I just
there isn't like such thing as a long distance anymore. Like that used to be back.
She has a 443 area code phone number,
right?
So it's a little weird sometimes when she orders a pizza and they ask her for her phone number and they're like, "Is that the area code?" And she's like, "Yeah." So she's still got a 443 area code number, even though she probably hasn't been in Maryland since 2008. Yeah. So, but even like when I moved to, I kind of got lucky when I moved back to New Jersey. I got like a Google phone number, like an 856 Google phone number years before I moved back because I was anticipating move back and I thought I'll put an 856 number on my resumes for when I'm moving. So once I got here, I just transferred over it.
Yeah, there you go.
Swapped it, so I still have my old 717 phone number from where I came from, but I never got any weird stuff from anybody. The weirdest thing I get is that my wife's ex-husband owes a lot of money to people, so they call me for it.
Really?
Yeah, they call me, and I'm like, let me tell you the story about this situation you just called me on, and I give them, they go, "Oh, I'm very sorry, Mr. Allen." I go, yeah. Obviously, I don't want to get phone calls for that guy.
Yeah,
yeah, I'm really sorry. and then they call me back again. So
Yeah.
it's not a it's not a great scene.
What else we got?
Oh, we got this is a big topic, man.
This is,
Big topic here. Our MUA is second to none when it comes to helping citizens. I would like to know how they feel about the possibility of becoming privately owned. I'll support their position of what is best for the township. So, this is well, you see the first commenter here. It's an absolute joke, and that guy is if you follow along, that guy in our last podcast that we did,
he's one of the shop stewards for the MUA.
And nobody is in favor of this. We talked about this on the last podcast. You know, I went through hours of trying to find a good positive thing about this MUA privatization, and I can't find anything. I found really good reasons that a township would sell their MUA off to a private company, all for situations that Gloucester Township is not in, right? Like when you run completely out of money, your MUA is just in disarray and needs repairs. Sometimes the township doesn't have the money to do it, so they'll sell it off to an entity, and that entity will invest the money in, and then basically charge the citizens back to rebuild. We're not in that spot at all. Mm-hmm. Our MUA was fantastic to people. And
I find amazing is that you say no one is for this. There are people for this, so you can't say there's nobody for this. You'll see there will be votes for it. Who are those people? What are the reasons that they are for it, and why don't they ever speak up and argue to be for it? You know what I mean? Like there's people. I don't know anybody that has a positive for. Well, I'm not going to get into that.
No, but then you just scrolling through, you see some of the comments, and people are like, I don't understand it. If they were losing money so bad, how'd they have a $6 million surplus?
Well, yeah,
they weren't losing money. They weren't losing money. They
can't lose money. It's a public thing. The taxpayers bail out anything that's there.
They were doing
money.
They were doing what we asked of them, and they had a savings account essentially for anything that would go wrong. So they weren't losing money. Nobody has given anything negative about the MUA that would make us think that they need to get rid of it. Mm-hmm. So it's all over social media. There's a new page. And look, I suggest you to get behind it. Not suggest you to get behind me, these guys, but give them a follow. See what
it's all about.
Save the GTMUA group on Facebook.
Oh, there's a group too. I know they have a page.
I'm sorry, it's not a group. It's a page.
Oh, okay,
it's a page. Just follow those guys. Let them know that you support them. But there's a good amount of people. I thought that somebody said there was like 40 people employed there, and they didn't find out that they were going to potentially be sold until they saw a Facebook post about it. So it's kind of a sad deal. I'd be really upset with my employer if they did that to me. So just a heads up.
People go traveling from Gloucester Township and they visit other locations, right? And sometimes they report back.
Yes.
So we had a
Samantha was in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I just had to say, these roads, they're a mess. I haven't driven down one of the streets down here that isn't riddled with massive potholes, equally as bad as what we have around us at home. Doesn't help them in a tiny little rental car, and I'm pretty sure I'll blow a tire out of. Just wanted to let you know the grass isn't always greener. So, you got to ask yourself, I wonder what they pay over there down in the Myrtle Beach area. Check out on Realtor.com. And
there you go.
That's me down there.
2,300 square foot house in Myrtle Beach that sells for $385,000. How much is it?
Taxes are $898 a year.
Joe says, I take dirt roads for $800.
Yes. Dirt roads.
Yeah, but the point is they have paved roads though for that cheap.
Yeah. So, man, yeah, dirt roads, I'll take it.
Yeah. It's South Carolina by a monster truck that can handle it.
Yeah. Look, it's the South. It's the South. I'll go buy me a big pickup truck with big old tires. And look,
You'll
pay
save $10,200. You could buy a new car every year for basically just, I'll throw this one away from the potholes.
Look, my house is smaller than 2,300 square feet, too, right? And they're paying $898.
Yeah.
I pay over $11,000. I'm gonna save at least $10,200 a year. That savings, me and my monster truck driving over big holes, I don't care. I'm gonna love it.
Yeah.
So
That's funny.
yeah. So look, tornado. You could also enjoy the tornado warnings we got today.
There are warnings.
Who doesn't love a tornado warning? You know what I do with tornado warnings? When I lived down in Pennsylvania, we got a lot more tornado. I lived out in Central PA, so there's a little. We got quite a few tornado warnings out there.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't have enough of it, man. Look, I live in the middle of Adams County. There's nothing out in Adams County. When there's a tornado warning, I'm out in the driveway. I'm out in the driveway, with a chair, and we'll drink, just waiting.
Where is it?
Maybe like, wife would come outside. What are you doing out there? They're hiding in the basement. He's got the dogs huddled in the corner. I'm like, I'm gonna see this thing coming.
Well, a tornado warning is definitely different than a tornado watch. You should know the difference between the two, right?
Yeah, it watches like, hey, keep an eye on the news here because it might get bad.
Yeah.
Warning, they're generally like,
it's coming. We're having tacos tonight.
Yeah. I think we had a warning. I think we had like one warning last year. And I remember I got
them around here too.
I got the wind up radio, you know, we came down here in the basement. And I say we came down here. My wife and the dogs came down here in the basement.
Right.
I was glued to the front door going, where's that?
It's not a leaf. Where's that?
He's gonna get down here. And I was like, no way, I gotta see this thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be I gotta post this on the GT Observer.
Yeah.
So it's a little different. It's I'm telling you, it's from a guy that's lived other places.
She is right. The grass isn't always greener.
But the grass is cheaper.
It can be. Grass is cheaper.
The grass is cheaper. Almost anywhere you go, the grass is cheaper. So, just saying.
Yeah.
And you might find people in the new location that line up with your political beliefs a little bit more.
Good.
Which is kind of not like this next post here. Here is a gentleman looking for recommendations for a lawn fertilizer / weed company preferred local over national chains like Lawn of America. I too have recently started to think I might not be a grass guy, you know? Maybe I just hire a guy.
The experts.
I know a good guy that I've known him now for probably, I feel like I've known Mike for about 2 years now. I've met him through GT Talk.
Yeah.
When the when this whole picture came up, when I did this picture here with the little things on it, he said, I need to make that picture. And that's the first time I think I ever talked to Mike.
Yeah.
So but Mike does he has a turf company where he does I've seen some pictures of his work. I know a lot of people that get work from him, and I was going to recommend him. Yeah, but he's already there. Sports, turf, lawn, pest control, and home services. He does it all. I've actually talked to him quite a bit about what he does, and I was going to recommend him, but he already recommended himself. But it just so happens that Michael does not have the same political that Chris Costanza Hughes has.
But all right, good.
So on Michael's sports turf, he had a cedar.
So Lesco is the brand name of the cedar.
Yeah, Lesco is the thing.
And he jokingly put Brandon underneath of Lesco. So
maybe he didn't even do it. He liked the picture and he thought it was funny, so he decided to do it. You can't think
that's funny though if you're a Pete Buttigieg fan, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
They both can't be funny.
Because I saw you always got to click on the person to find out like what they got going on there, and he's amazing man. Ooh, he's got a lot of Pete face right there, but he likes Pete, right? He likes Pete, and so they
had 2024. Is he running for something? This is 2024. Pete Buttigieg is running for something?
I don't even know what the hell he's doing there.
Oh, well, that's what the whole image was said Pete Buttigieg 2024.
Was he trying to? I don't know. Oh, he's the transportation secretary, isn't he?
Yeah, Secretary of Transportation.
Yeah. But I found that so funny that
The guy looked him up and said, "Oh yeah, no, you made a Let's Go Brandon joke, so I can't do business with you."
I did. I don't know, man. I got a lot of friends, and they're politically we're different everywhere, and I was just chatting with somebody else the other day about this. And yeah, I've got a buddy that I've known since probably before first grade. He is a hardcore Democrat,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm basically I hate them all, really. I do. I mean, like I'm such an independent because I don't fit into any party at all. But I know that I know that I could never talk politics with this guy, and I don't. And if he tries to go, I just steer away.
Right.
As much as I love, like, if you're a stranger, you want to talk politics with me, I will talk politics with you all day until I bury you. But with my friends, I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. But man, I've just learned to get along with people so well, and I was like, man, you're gonna grow up a little bit, man. Come on.
Well,
So we're so divided too. We're so and then I think that's kind of part of the plan too. Is to really divide us. In Washington, it's one party. I don't care what you see on the news, man. It's one party. They're all doing. They're look. They're on TV. They're battling with each other, and then they hang out with each other afterwards.
Yeah.
So we should not be so divided because they're not. It just seems that way. Here we go, man.
All right. Garwood Road and Peter Cheeseman looks healthy.
Right out the side. Right. I actually, we were going to grab something to eat.
Mm.
And I left the house and I'm cruising, talking to the wife. And then boom, turkey out of nowhere. Just swerve. I thought, man, turkeys are back. Oh, and if that's the turkey, like, the Blackwood
Oh,
turkey.
you just saw this one, this post, and then that happened?
And then we got to where we were going. I can't remember where we were going. It was a mile, Kid Rips or whatever. We got there and he goes, someone's coxing the road. That's the turkey we saw.
Yeah.
So I don't know what happened to him, but right down the street from the house here. And I think it was a turkey.
What was that? Perry, I think, was what the name became.
God, I'm trying to think what that
Perry
was.
the
man.
turkey in
I'm trying to think of what that was.
He was strutting his stuff up and down Black Horse Pike there.
Oh yeah.
I think they moved them somewhere else.
The next thing up here, man, is good Pine Hill chat. I love
Pine Hill chat here.
I wonder how many people did not realize that Francis Scott Key, for who the bridge was named, wrote our national anthem.
Mm.
So if you've not seen the news, the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore was hit by a ship, fell down, collapsed, and actually my in-laws just had to get picked up in Virginia because they were on their way back from a cruise and they couldn't get through. So, but this guy wanted to ask everybody.
Somebody replied back with
It's the best. It's the best. I wonder if everybody realizes that you're flexing about knowing something taught in the second grade. So I think, hey, in a trivia question, if somebody said, "What's Francis Scott Key known for?" Think you got the trivia question right?
Would I have? No, I would not.
No, I was thinking like,
I'm not good at trivia.
dude, we're terrible at trivia. Oh man. Shout out to by the way, shout out to speed quizzing trivia over in it's my buddy does it over in Rax and Acco on Tuesdays, House of Brews on Wednesdays. My wife and I go, sometimes you show up too.
Yeah.
And then Thursdays over at Rax in in Williamstown.
Yeah.
Great trivia, really good time if you guys would ever want to come out. Love to play. Like, you guys come out and play against us, you're gonna beat us for sure.
Oh yeah.
Oh, this is gonna be.
You know what you won't beat? The best cheesesteak in South Jersey here.
The best cheesesteak is in New Jersey.
I agree with this. However, I say it's Donkey's. It's not.
I've not had Donkeys, and I took off basically an entire month at the end of the year, and I was like, "Hey, let me know when you go do Donkeys."
Yeah, we usually do Donkey's every Friday.
We basically didn't do Donkeys the entire time I was off, and then
You started a project that held you up.
And this week you were like, going to Donkeys on Friday. I'm like, I'm working on Friday.
Well, I usually also always forget to tell you too, and then usually when I do tell you, you say, "Oh, I'm not coming." So then I'm just like, "Well, I'm not gonna tell them I'm going."
So, man, yeah, so the best cheesesteak, and as soon as I saw this, I was like, oh, it's Donkey's. But then I saw the picture, and I'm like, that's not a Donkey's cheesesteak. It's Donkey's cheesesteak. Like,
They're round, yeah.
It's on a seated Kaiser.
Yep.
So I have never heard of this place, but
I have. I've had it before. It is really good.
that's a really good looking. Man,
It's in Hainesport.
so late now, and I'm hungry.
I believe is the name of the town, but it's off Marne Highway.
Lilo's, and it's a tomato pies place too. So you wouldn't even think that they'd be the best cheesesteaks. But
this is the answer when people ask, like, where's the best cheesesteak around? It's a little far.
Why don't we have this in the city? Look at the pizza, the cheesesteak is amazing looking.
I mean, I think if you go to Deli Cozy's is as close to this as you can get.
Oh, that's in Glendora, right?
Yeah, in Glendora.
I've never been there.
That's my vote for a cheesesteak.
I gotta stop eating. I gotta stop eating these mediocre cheesesteaks. But look,
where are you getting your cheesesteaks from?
I don't want to crap on the place.
Okay.
They're gonna put two and two together, and then my cheesesteaks are gonna have extra ingredients.
Well, if
in
you
there.
stop buying from the subpar cheesesteak place, you don't have to worry about it.
But I get cheesesteaks locally from different places, and then like they're edible.
You can't get. I mean, they're not like bad, but there's not a dynamite one. No.
Sometimes when you pick the bag up at the counter, and you're going, "My God, what is in this thing?"
Right.
And you get it home, and you unwrap it, and you go, "I can't believe this."
Yeah.
And then you want to take. I want something that I bring home and I want to take pictures of.
Like that.
Yeah, like whoever took this picture.
Yeah.
I want to take pictures of my cheesesteak. And I haven't seen a cheesesteak like that in years. Actually, no. Well, yeah, it's actually been years since I had to go work in Center City. But like Cleaver's in Center City it's still my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
But Hainsport's a long way for a cheesesteak.
It is.
Like, you gotta go. You can eat in Donkeys, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because I didn't know that. I thought you just had to go to Camden, buy it, and then get the hell out of it. But you can go there and eat
Yeah, there's a bar. They got a bar in there, and there's bar tables, and then in the back there's tables. Yeah. Well,
Right.
we had our congressman was in there today with me. Donald Norcross was in there. There was a couple other people that were, sucking at the power teat, hanging around them and everything, all dressed up in their suits. But if you go there, you have to wear something that you're gonna like throw away or throw right in the wash as soon as you're done, because you stink like cheesesteaks when you leave there.
Oh, because it's kind of probably just constantly frying.
Oh yeah, it's constantly frying, and it's like this little tiny grill, and I don't even think it vents outside. There's a vent over it, but I think it just goes up in the air and then
blocked. There's cheese and grease blocking it up.
Yeah.
Norcross was there, huh?
Yeah. Yep.
Wow, man.
He walked in looking around. It was funny too, because there was all the 305 guys were in there earlier. I was with them. I know a couple of them, and they usually go there on Fridays too. They were in there and drinking up a storm. I mean, it was lunchtime, but they were hammered. They walk out the door, like maybe, I don't know, 8 minutes later, he walked in. I was like, oh, you should have seen all your guys over here drinking up a storm.
They got good beers in there?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, good selection of craft beers and all kinds of, yeah. You're missing out.
I'm doing it now. I'm doing it on Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah. They had a new, What the heck was it? Double nickel that I never saw before. It's like a stout of some sort. I never heard the name. I was curious about that one. I didn't try it though. But anyway, yeah, no, they have tables you can eat. Oh, this is your last one here. You want
the last one? Yeah, I would. Man,
the problem is
we gotta do it. We gotta go. I don't know, like one weekend. You know,
yeah, doctor's appointment. So I gotta go to doctor's appointment.
Well, even on the weekends. Like, if you're not doing anything on the weekends, just let us know. We'll go with
The problem is, it's never really. It's a weird schedule that they're open. Like, I don't even think they're open on the weekends.
Oh,
I don't even know. You'd have to look it up.
What about the Medford one? You been to the Medford one?
Yeah, Medford's not the same though. I don't think they have a liquor license there. I don't think it's. I mean, it's all new. Like this one, you go in, you're going back in time. I mean, there's like. You can't describe it. It's like going into like you go to like Tony's Baltimore Grill in Atlantic City. Like it's old time. It's like the original way it was back in like the the 50s or so. That's how Donkeys is.
Tony's Baltimore Grill in Atlantic City.
Yeah.
No.
It's like next to Tropicana. You never been there? Oh,
No.
That's great pizza in there.
What's it have to do with Baltimore?
I no idea. I don't know. It says spaghetti outside. I don't know. It's a weird combo of things, but
yeah, good crab cakes. I'd probably go because it's
Baltimore Grill. Yeah.
Well, the wife's from Maryland, and ever since I moved here, all I've heard is how the crab in New Jersey is terrible compared to what's in Maryland.
I had crab cakes. I was in Maryland last weekend for Easter, and I had to order crab cakes. I was down there. Like, oh yeah, local. That's what you gotta do.
You have to. Yeah, they're
and
not.
It wasn't like wasn't that much better than other ones that I've had. However, I was at like a chain. I was at thing at a casino, basically the MGM.
No, yeah.
So it was frozen buy from Cisco kind of stuff anyway. Yeah.
Now,
So I had high hopes. I thought maybe the chef here,
Yeah. So my wife took off from work today to go down to see her family in Maryland, and they go to I'm trying to think what the name of the place is. It is it's a hole in the wall. It's a hole in the wall place. There's a bar.
That's the best
on one side, and then the other side is basically just the crab room. So you can go into the bar and grab a beer. You can get shrimp or crab cakes or whatever. But if you go into the other side, it's a room where they roll out the paper. They put the paper on the table.
This is all you can eat?
And then they bring in no, you buy it by the dozen.
Okay.
So they bring a dozen in, but when you get crabs in Maryland, they've got the thick seasoning on them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the rock salt. It's amazing looking if you're into that kind of thing.
I don't like the work of opening them up and get it.
Nah,
I just eat it. I'll eat it. I don't like opening. You like opening them?
Hate it.
I hate it. I can't take it.
I love crab. I love crab, but when you get to the part where you gotta flip the little thing over and you rip them, and then you get all that weird stuff in the middle
guts
there.
And
all weird stuff. Like the mother-in-law is like, she's just dipping, she's dipping and she's eating it, and I'm like, right, and I'm just, and no. So when I go there, I'll probably usually get. They're digging into it, like her and her mother and father. They're just going crazy. I'll get
order chicken tenders.
Nah, I'll get crab cakes. Like I'll get the crab cake meal. But it's like there's nothing fancy about this place at all.
Mm-hmm.
Winter's Run, that's what it's called. Winter's Run. I forget what town it's in. It's fantastic, but it's a hole in the wall. Weird thing though, right? I got shrimp one time I was there, and my mother-in-law ordered it for me. And one of the things they asked was, did he want onions on it? And she's like, yeah, I guess so.
Onions?
It was a thing of shrimp with like fried onions over top of it. Like the whole thing. It's just covered in fried onions. And they were like, oh, here you go. And I went. And I was like, what you do to my shrimp? I don't know why. I don't look, I've never seen that anywhere else in the country.
Yeah, I
But
never heard of that.
there was onions all over my shrimp. And I love onions. I love shrimp. I don't love onions and shrimp together. It was a bad deal.
They were cooked though, fried onions.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. Crooked.
I like raw onions. I like raw vegetables. I don't like cooked vegetables.
I love me some fried onions. I don't love me fried onions though. On
Shrimp.
You know what? They weren't even fried. They were like steamed.
Okay.
They were steamed onions. It's fried onions, yeah. Because fried
They're
onions
soft. Yeah.
Yeah, they were just soft onions. I'm like, why'd you do this to me? What did I do to you guys? Do you guys hate me? But that was it. But yeah, that was a weird thing. And then I was actually invited to go down today, and I was like, what am I gonna do? I don't get some with shrimp with onions on them again. Like, well, we're not gonna do that to you again. Like, I don't want to be a part of this. I got work to do.
Yeah.
So. Final thing. I just saw this right before the podcast, and I was like, man, this reminds me of a lot of things that happen in GT here. Without government, who would provide blank? So whatever it is, parks, whatever, pickleball courts. And is it important? And if it's not important, government shouldn't have to tax people to pay things that are not important. Why not? Taxation's theft. Is it important?
Yes. Is it important?
Would you be willing to pay for it even if you weren't forced to? If the answer is no, back to taxation is theft. If the answer is yes, then, hey, wouldn't people just pay for this voluntarily?
Yeah.
And the theme is basically that you don't have a choice about taxes. You're forced to pay them.
Mm-hmm.
So if these things were so necessary, would you pay them? So it kind of comes. So yeah, essentially, I just was thinking, it kind of came along the same lines earlier too with the MUA, and I was thinking about things that should be privatized and should not be privatized, and I thought, you know what, there are some things in town that you just need, right? You just need, and there was some
Roads.
Roads are one of them. There was some, apparently there were, I think it actually happened in over in the UK, where I guess they privatized fire departments in different areas, and like a fire would break out, and then two fire departments would show up and they would fight over who's gonna, and you would pay whoever put your house.
Really? Huh.
They would get into fights over who would put your house out. And I thought, okay, I don't mind paying for fire. Although I guess you could maybe what if you just opted out and you're like, look, I don't need fire. If anything happens here, we got fire extinguishers. We'll take care of it. I don't need to pay.
It'll burn to the ground.
Yeah, I don't need to pay for fire department. And you know what? I don't need to pay for police because honestly, if anything ever happens here, I'll just shoot people on the property. I don't need to pay for police. Maybe you can opt out, but like honestly, you really kind of need those things, so you got to pay for those things. We privatized our ambulance service, and I don't know how many people have died because of that, but it's we missed a lot of calls. But
yeah,
it's one of those things. Water, we did privatize our water already.
oh.
Sewer. Let's not do that. Let's not do our sewer. Electric, I guess, is already private, but I don't know. You pay your electric bill, man. You see the electric bill charges, and you see all the other charges that are associated with it. And you're like, this is kind of excessive.
Delivery, this.
Yeah.
Of course, you got to deliver it. How else would I get it?
You could you could even further privatize that, I guess, if you were allowed to put solar and battery on and completely disconnect yourself from the grid. That's kind of a nice thing to have too, but I don't know. Just one of those things that got me thinking. I thought all day about this whole thing and the ups and downs of it, and honestly, I came out of it disappointed a little bit because I really.
You wanted to find some good?
Yeah, because I think government is really wasteful when it comes to spending and stuff like that. And
Absolutely, yeah.
I thought, government's the last people that I want to give my money to. But then again, do I want to give my money to a company that has shareholders that they have to make happy and raise my rates for? No, I don't want to do that either. So,
yeah, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I believe they're like by law entitled to a 9% profit, like from that. If I'm not,
yeah, that's 8 or 9. It's definitely, there was definitely a number 8 or 9.
yeah,
So
basically, say, yeah, you sell your utility to us, we paid you this amount. Well, you're also going to pay us back that amount that we just paid you to privatize it.
Yeah.
Oh, why? So we're paying for it 2 times? Okay.
I was looking at the cooperatives. You ever been a part of a cooperative?
I know I've heard the term, and it's not like it's like REI is a cooperative, like where you get money back. Like,
My electric company when I lived out in Pennsylvania was a cooperative, and our rates, I know, and I just remember our rates being really low. They had a board that they went through elections and stuff like that. And the rates, I always just thought the rates were really good when I was out there. I still to this day get checks from them because when you become a part of a cooperative,
right, you're part of
part owner.
Right.
So yeah, I get a check for every now and for like 15,
I didn't know that it was for utilities.
$15. Yeah, it was my electric. It was my electric bill. It was actually Adams Electric out in Pennsylvania. But I still to this day get checks from them they're just like returns or something like that. I guess they get on profits. They send it back to the people.
That's
and
crazy.
I don't know. It sounds pretty cool. I don't know the full details on it, but I just thought, maybe that's the best way to go. If public's not good, private's not good, I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah.
But if you haven't subscribed to our podcast or either one of our podcasts, we've got Inside Township Talk, and we have the GT Observer podcast where we go through the bi-weekly council meetings, kind of do a recap on that.
Yep.
Follow us on both of those. If you follow us on this channel, you can catch both of those. One podcast happens one week, the next podcast happens on the next week. So give us a follow, and we got the contest too going on.
Don't forget to check on our website for the GT hunt, I think is the title of it. But yeah, we have a digital scavenger hunt going on currently. Leading up to a in-person one that we'll be having on the 22nd, I believe it was, or the 12th.
Something I forgot already.
Yeah, I forgot too, but it's on the information's on the website. Go to the website and check it out there.
So, all right, folks. All right. We will we'll see you on this. We'll see you in the next podcast in a couple days, and then on Inside GT Talk in about 2 weeks.
Take care.